No dirt. What kind of creepy place is this?
Britain
Wow.
awake for
Hey,
slumber.
I got something to get off my chest. Oh, okay. Here it goes. So we're mates, right? And mates don't keep things from each other, right? Well, I just don't want anything to change between us after I tell you this, okay? Oh, well, okay then. I guess I'll just tell you anyway. I thought about how we're good mates, but we barely know anything about each other. So I wanted to tell you about where I came from, how I got like this. Okay, so, I grew up in a home for abandoned boys. It was a rough and tumble place, but overall, I think I was happy there. But when I was about 5, raiders came in the dead of night, stole me and my brothers from our beds, and took us to their camp. They forced us to fight each other. The ones who refused were executed in front of us. I don't remember a lot of it. I think my brain won't let me. But one by one, we fought each other with our bare hands. The losers were put out of their misery quick. I was never the best fighter, but I think I just had the most will to live, for whatever reason. The next thing I remember, it was just me and my best friend, Sam, left. He refused to fight me, since I had basically raised him. But I don't know. I just wanted to live. Yeah, well, everyone has a choice, and I made mine. Now I'm living with it. I became those horrible monsters' prize fighter. They trained me like a dog, and then put me in the ring with fighters from other gangs. After a while, I had gotten so good that gangs started refusing to fight me. I killed too many of their best guys. I'm not proud of it. I was barely even a human back then. But they created a monster that they couldn't much control anymore. One day, I saw an opportunity. I mutilated a couple of my handlers and made my escape. Never looked back. Sometimes. Thanks for listening. I've never told anyone about my past before. I really don't like to think about it. But, as fucked up as the path was, at least it led us together. I've never had a mate like you. So, thanks.
Oh,
I don't
Mac,
like it
fuck.
here.
I've
Too,
been basted with all these trails.
dirtless. Yeah.
The boardroom's closed. Stay back.
Wow. Where they keeping all the dust?
Officers' meeting. And unless my eyes have done a runner on me, you ain't on the list. Good idea.
I don't like it here. Too...
That
dirtless.
badman Lawrence is
Yeah.
so stingy with supplies. Who does he think he is?
Britain, awake! Awake for slumber! And just like that. It's open.
I'm knackered as fuck. We're being beasted with all these drills.
That Badman Lawrence is so stingy with supplies. Fine day for it, ain't it?
Britain, awake! Awake for slumber!
I'm knackered as fuck. We're being beasted with all this drills.
Hitting these guys is like crunching a can of Nuka-Cola.
How you doing?
Do you mind? Mind where you're going.
What can I do you for? Nah, Eve Varney owns this place. God bless her. I merely run it, and I'm proud to serve my countrymen. Private lounge is members only. You? I'm not a member. Don't accuse me of incompetency. I didn't get the orders, okay? Here's the key.
That badman Lawrence is so stingy with supplies. Who does he think he is?
Bitch, I'm talking about my sister, Ivani. You see, not everyone thinks she's magnificent. And I'm not talking about the troglodytes in Richmond, or the gluttons of Westminster either. Your employer and I both agree she has to go. Your employer has entrusted me with a position. He feels I'm a better advocate of your organization's interests. The fifth column will go on, but its fate shall align with that of Angel. I have no preference in manner of her execution, but your employer prefers caution. I have somewhat of a scheme, if you wish to kill her discreetly. Eve's chief advisor, Victor Schmidt, is a pathetic weasel of a man. If my suspicions are correct, which they are, he cares little for the principles of the fifth column. He stays only for Eve. An obsession is sickening. If he were to find out certain things about her past, then his obsession would turn to rage. He'd do the job himself, the fucker, if he weren't confined to that chair. She's my half-sister, really. I am of proper stock. Eve is a bastard. When I was a boy, she was chucked out of the family home. It's the fifth column that brought us back together. A pure coincidence, you must understand. We both joined in Harold Attlee's days. Dark times they were. I climbed my way to the top. She charmed her way up the ranks. When Attlee was on his deathbed, the poor fucker was so delusional he named her successor. What's there to tell? His life story could be written on a napkin. He was a soldier. It's only luck that he fell into the chief advisory position. A little ways north of here, hidden away, is a mass grave. Very few know about it, and Victor Schmidt isn't one of them. Inside it, you'll find the remains of all those in the fifth column who have challenged Eve over the years. One such corpse is that of Oliver Hume, Victor Schmidt's predecessor and close friend. If he were to realize this, that Eve is just as flawed as he believes the fifth column to be, he'd break. Now that was a leader. Apart from myself, I'd say Hume was by far the best candidate for Attlee's replacement. Despite this, he never challenged Eve's position. That was his mistake. Instead, he challenged her decisions, repeatedly, hence why he was killed. I come in at the end, when I take my rightful place at the top. I have few allies outside the administrative branch, and little appetite for getting my hands dirty. The success of this plan is on you and you alone. In the case of failure, do whatever it takes. I want her gone. Uncertain, it will be difficult to shatter the immaculate visage in his head, but it's never impossible to convince people of the truth. I wouldn't mention my involvement for starters. He'd never believe it if he knew it came from me. Anyhow, empirical evidence wouldn't go amiss. Excellent. I will await the outcome. Take this letter. It will get you into most areas unmolested. When the deed is done, let us not speak again. Farewell.